So to just answer this question, I want to give a little bit of background. So I received a DM, and this guy kind of shared with me these great qualities that he was noticing in a girl that he was dating. And so he like kind of listed them off to me and let me know, like I feel good about like these qualities that she has. But, like this other aspect isn't there. What do I do? Do I just need to like, let that aspect go, kind of compromise, and, just kind of asking me what he should do. And I let him know that if you're in that situation where you're seeing a few good things, but like you're not convicted enough where you're like asking for help, and like looking for advice on how to navigate the situation, that's usually a really good indicator that you are settling. This happens really frequently in dating, but I've also seen it happen, and I've experienced it happening a lot in like careers, jobs, living situations, and all of that as well. And I'll go into how that kind of shows itself in those different scenarios. But when it comes to dating, if you guys have been following me for a little while, you know that I am pretty big on your non-negotiables, and that I always push everyone who like comes to me to focus on their non-negotiables instead of like a checklist. And the reason why I teach people to focus on those non-negotiables is because those non-negotiables are how you feel loved, right? And it's a lot more powerful of a connection to focus on, okay, does this person make me feel cared about in the ways that I identify love, than it is to like, compare them to this checklist. And when you're dating, and Jordan can attest to that, absolutely. Because when you're dating, like the checklist thing, it does one of two things. Either it disqualifies everyone because it becomes this like perfect person that doesn't exist, or you're not really in tune with why things are on your list. And so even if you meet someone who has really great qualities and would actually make you feel loved, if they don't look a certain way like you have already outlined in your checklist, then you don't give them a chance either. So there's kind of like two harmful things that happen with that. And the same thing happens with like your job or your living situation, where we will kind of identify, okay, well, there's great pay here, and maybe the hours are decent, but I don't get any time off, and I like my whole life is kind of this job. It's not really what I want to do, but like it's okay. And those like little compromises are how we settle. And it's hard because you can see good things, and there's nothing wrong with letting yourself feel comfortable and have those good things. But what I see so often is that people will kind of settle for, oh, well, here's this good thing and this good thing and this good thing. And I don't trust that I'll be able to have these good things and the other good things that I want. So I'm just going to settle for these good things. And it's kind of this baseline, like, okay life, right? This was something that I did when I first started getting like salary positions, because I have shared on here a couple of times, but if you don't know, I don't have a degree. So when I started getting salary positions, I was like, well, I don't have a degree. This is better pay than like I thought I could get without one. So I should just like work this job and I shouldn't be like too greedy or too pushy or whatever, because this is like better than I originally thought I could do, right? And the same would be true with dating, where I would meet guys that like, you know, maybe they had a couple of good qualities, like they were committed to the church and they were polite and opened my doors. And I was like, well, those are good things. And, you know, I can just like give up the rest of it because these good things are there. And I'm afraid if I give up the good things, then I won't have them again and I won't find something better. And that's not true for you. That's not true for dating. That's not true for your job. That's not true for your life. You don't have to settle for a few good things just because you're afraid that you can't have more. And I want to be very clear here as I talk about this, because sometimes we're then driven to take it to the extreme on the other side of the pendulum, where we say like, I demand perfection in everything. And that doesn't help either, because that's also a defense mechanism where you're saying, if everything isn't exactly perfect how I like originally dreamed up, then, you know, like I won't settle for less. And you know, that's just kind of the opposite side, and both are hurting you. And neither are like your divine design, your divine right. And when you want to kind of distinguish between, okay, I don't want to slip into perfectionism, but I also don't want to settle, like, how do you know? How do you make that feeling, and how do you kind of distinguish that for yourself so that you know you're getting what's truly for your highest good, not just like that base level comfortable good, right? So what I tell my clients, what I feel into, and what I want to encourage for all of you listening in, is there are kind of two major questions that you can ask yourself that will guide you to know if you're settling or if you are kind of treading into perfectionism. So the first question that you want to ask in either the dating situation that you're in, or your job, or otherwise your living circumstance is, do I feel space to feel like my favorite self? So this is both comfort in just being who you want to be, and feeling the freedom and the permission to just be you, and to just live, and to have fun, and to try new things and make mistakes, and to know that like you're okay, and you're loved, and you're accepted, and you're valued just exactly as you are, right? So question number one to ask is, do I feel like my favorite self in this situation? If the answer is yes, then that's a good situation for you. And if the answer is no, then that's probably some reevaluating that you can do. And then the next question that you can ask to know if you're settling is, does this situation inspire me and allow me to create more and to be better? So when you're in the relationship or the job or the house or whatever, does it give you space to both be totally and completely yourself, so that you feel that confidence and that just safeness to be you? And does it also inspire you to be able to become more, and to dream bigger, and to let yourself have more, and ask for more, and aspire to more? Because sometimes we get into situations or relationships where we just have wanted to feel seen for so long that we find someone who sees us, but they don't necessarily inspire us. And that situation, you're still settling for that, okay, I haven't felt safe before, I feel safe here, but I don't feel inspired to become more. I'm afraid that if I get a better job, if I get a better salary, if I trip or whatever, then this person won't love me anymore. They'll leave me, whatever. And there's kind of that like cap on, you can be yourself, but only like enough of yourself so that this person will stick around. And that's the same for your job, right? Like you can just kind of translate that to, am I happy here? Do I feel like I have space to work and to, use my talents and all of that? But is there also space to grow here in this company, in this position, in this, in my salary? Do you have the freedom and the capacity in that situation to let yourself have more? And that's something that I have really, really tuned into personally, is just being sensitive to, do I feel like I can ask for more? Because a lot of people are afraid to do that. A lot of people kind of psych themselves out and won't let themselves even dream of a bigger house or a better salary or a deeper, more loving connection, because they're afraid to let go of what's good so that they can have what's great. And I believe, and I love to teach to my clients, that there is no limit to how great you can be and how many blessings you can ask for, because I believe that we all are created from a divine almighty God, and because we are all his children, we have been promised worlds without end. We have been promised, glory and to be godlike. And that doesn't start when we die, right? Like, you don't have to just kind of earn your blessings and then once you die, then you get the really great life. Like, I used to think that. And I think that I was wrong. And I think that that for a lot of blessings, because I didn't want to come across as ungrateful or like I was greedy or selfish. And I realized that in not asking for more, I was just limiting myself. And in those relationships, I was just kind of settling for as good as I thought that I could get. And you don't have to do that. I didn't have to do that. I stopped accepting that for myself. And I just started believing that I'm created from a loving heavenly Father, right? Like, that's pretty amazing. And that means that he is invested in me, in my life, in my wants. And if that's true, and God is unlimited in his being, then why would I be limited on earth to what I can ask for? Because what I've learned is, as I ask for more, as I aspire to build a better life and to change things for myself, I have a greater capacity to share that with other people, to teach that to other people, to make more of my talents and my abilities than I could when I was keeping myself small. Neil says, oh, what a line, afraid to let go of what's good, which prevents us from welcoming that which is great. Yes, absolutely. I can't remember who said it. One of the mentors that I follow in kind of this space of spirituality and abundance says that the enemy of great is good. And that's so true. We just kind of get really safe and complacent and comfortable with what's good, and we're afraid of asking for more because we don't want to like seem a certain way. And I think what's interesting is, most often we don't want to be judged by other people as being that way. And the reality is that most people don't care. Like we give people's opinions way more space and credence than we need to, because most people honestly just aren't thinking about us that much. And that judgment that we're afraid of, that's coming from inside of you. And that's you saying, am I a bad person for wanting more? To which I say, no, you're not. If you're a good person now, you'll be a good person with a better relationship. If you're a good person now, you'll be a good person with more money. If you're a good person now, you'll be a good person with more resources, more capacity, more growth, and you'll be better equipped to teach people how to do that for themselves. So as I just kind of sit here in this hotel room that a year ago, I would have never believed that I would have the ability to pay for, and getting to experience this and getting to share it with some of our closest friends has been so special. And so I wanted to come on here and share that with all of you, because the things that you think are not possible for you, that's just in your head. That doesn't have to be true for you.